All right. We're going to be asking questions, marriage, love, and relationships as a topic, and we're going to be having five cool topics on this episode that we're going to be discussing. So I want you to sit back and experience the best of it. Okay. And I know so much people have got a lot of questions, but the best that we can do is, if you have any question regarding this topic, you just send me a message and DM me, and we'll talk about it and we'll address it. Okay, we might not be able to address as much, but we can address some questions if they are sent to my DM. So you can DM me with some questions, and I can be able to give you some answers. Okay. All right. So let's start on the first question. So we have 5 questions in this episode. We're going to have 5 questions in this episode. So obviously our answers are going to be also motivated by scripture, by the Bible, by the values that are good. And if you have any question regarding the area of marriage, love, and relationships, today I believe there's going to be an answer for you that is going to come. So the first question the first question that I'm going to address is, should couples reveal their full financial status before marriage? Should couples reveal their full financial status before marriage? That's a very, very tricky question, that one. Should couples reveal their full financial status before marriage? This is the question. Should couples reveal their full financial status before marriage? So I don't know what you think. Let's say you are dating someone, and then you are about to get married to someone, and I do think, to address this question, should you as a couple address your financial status in full before marriage? I think it is dependent upon the level of the relationship where you are at. For example, you just cannot just meet someone today, and then you meet someone today, and then you're already telling them and exposing all your bank accounts to them and telling them how much you earn. It doesn't make sense. That would be foolishness. Understand? So whether you are a guy or you're a girl in the relationship, it doesn't make sense. If the first day when you're just getting to know each other, you can't expose everything to the person. But so in dating, let's take this love triangle. This love triangle has got some stages, right? So we have the first stage, which is the dating stage. The dating stage in explanation, you're just getting to know each other. So when you're saying you're dating someone, you're getting to know each other. I don't know, like there's a way that people are doing it these days that is so fast. But dating is getting to know each other. Then we have the second level, which is called courtship. Courtship, we are now preparing to get married to each other. And then we have marriage, where marriage, we are now one flesh. We're now together forever. So in marriage, everything is transparent and so clear. If you are a married person right now, you cannot hide things from your person. You understand? I know there can be a situation where men, if you're a lady, you need to understand that, where men need to protect their ego. And when they hustle, they can bring the pay slip home. And then when they hustle 1 or 2 times, they just like don't tell you all, because sometimes they want to keep surprising you. And if you know everything, sometimes how are you going to get flowers by surprise, a car by surprise anyway? But what you do and your deals and things like that, it's transparent. I've seen this by experience. Do you know that thieves, if you're married to a thief, you know that my husband is a thief. You know, and the day that the police will knock at the door, go, 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 go. You will not be surprised. You know how to act, you know how to respond, you know what to do. So, but when you're in courtship, you need to address finances. If you're in courtship, if you're a lady, let me start by addressing ladies. Ladies, if you're a lady, before you get married to a person, know their financial status and capabilities. Don't just jump into a person that you don't know, like, what is your plan? I'm not saying get married to a person who is rich or who has money. No, I'm saying no. Know their financial status, know their capabilities. Are they going to be able to take care of bills? Because once you get married, there are many things that come along with the way they are bills. Some they get children instantly. There are children that needs to be taken care of, and so forth. So if you are going to be in a relationship, if it's a relationship and you're in courtship, you discuss it. You discuss it. The man has to bring these sources of income here and explain how he is getting it, how he's making it, and how he's going to be taking care of the family, because he's the actual head of the family who's going to be the biggest main provider. And then the lady, if you're also working, you bring on your own table what you're also doing, then you plan together. Okay, so if we're getting married, this is how we're going to be managing our finances. If you bring this much, if you bring this much, this is what you're going to do. Okay, or I'll do this responsibilities, and so forth. I've seen sometimes where you can discuss as a couple, and the man is taking care of the bills, is taking care of the children, and then maybe the lady is just taking care of just maybe the groceries, depending on the plans that you have. So it's very good. So regarding finances, you need to be transparent on that one if you are in courtship and if you're in marriage. But if you're just getting to know someone and you're starting off a relationship, there's no need to be exposing yourself 100%. You can't expose yourself 100% when you're just getting to know a person. You have met a person today and you're already opening your bank accounts. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You cannot live that life. Okay, so you meet someone today, you talk, okay, then you tell them everything about your finances, and you realize you don't like them, and then they just go with your information. They just know your life. They just know your status just like that. It doesn't make sense. So sometimes you need also to protect yourself. You need to be protecting yourself from certain things that can be, you know, unknown. We call them the fear of the unknown. So sometimes you have to be really afraid. So yeah. So when it comes to the married couples, your finances have to be transparent. One of the situations that I've seen that is difficult is when things are hard, when you get to seasons that are very difficult in marriage, and finances are not really playing out well. So as a man, for you to be able to come and explain to your wife that things are not okay, and I cannot have enough money. And even if you are the lady also who has been working and you're no longer working and things have been hard, for your person to understand you, for your partner to understand you, it is because you have got a good history together. You have been transparent. So all this while you're just bringing some money home and you're just paying some bills quietly and silently, and you don't tell us, and we don't even know where you're getting the money. And the day that you don't have, you expect us to understand. How can I understand? You get that? I cannot understand that. So it is very important to be understanding. So if you're going to build our marriages in a godly manner, also with the fear of God, it is also good to be truthful in marriage. Let's be truthful in relationship, in courtship. Let's be truthful. But in dating, like I've said, yes, you tell them what you do. You tell them your aspirations. You tell them they can know your capabilities by what you're doing. If you're a man, you're taking your lady out. Of course, where you're taking the lady out can also show like the strength of your pockets sometimes. But to really be exposing your 100% self is really not an ideal thing. It's really not an ideal thing. All right, this is the first question that I'm addressing today. 1 out of 5 is addressed. I see on YouTube that somebody just sending a message to me right now. Hello, can you please pray for my brother? That's Baby Cakes 2.0. Hi, can you please pray for my brother's matter? Murderer is in court today. Okay, can you please get in touch with me? There's a number on the description. Please get in touch with me. Come on WhatsApp if you're on WhatsApp. If you're not on WhatsApp, please come to my email. There's an email that is there where you can reach me and we can talk. that, and we can do the prayers that needs to be prayed. To the person that is on YouTube that is just sending a message right now on the comments, please do come to my WhatsApp on the inbox and we can pray about it. And also please, and we can talk about it and pray about it. And also, if you're not on WhatsApp, if you're not using WhatsApp, please send me an email on description. If you don't see the email now, you'll see it just after this session. Just after this session, you'll see the email. Let's go to the second question, guys. We are on marriage, love, and relationships. Okay, question number 2. Is it wrong for a woman to earn more than her husband? And how does that affect respect in marriage? Oh my God. Okay, if the question is saying, is it wrong for a woman to earn more? The answer is no, it's not wrong. She's able to earn, so that's not wrong. Some ladies are, these days, opportunities are equal to every partner. So if they have a good career, a good business, a good income source, and they're bringing money home and they have more money than you, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. A lady can earn more than a woman, but that should not affect the hierarchy of the biblical hierarchy in marriage, because when we talk about marriage, the husband is the head. There's need to keep the respect and to keep the boundaries and to keep the relationship as it should be before God. As it should be before God, where if you are a lady, you are actually respecting your husband. If you're the husband, you're also loving your wife. Loving your wife also pertains to respecting her as well, in the sense that you cannot just be, treating her somehow. But if a lady is earning more than you, I believe it's not a problem. It's not a problem. You lady, you just have to also understand that you have to also know that when the man is the one that is earning more, how do you guys behave? Obviously, you expect transparency, and you expect him to come and report to you and tell you and plan with you. So if you are the lady and you're now earning more and you're in a relationship or marriage setup, it also means you also need to bring transparency on table, and you also need to plan with your person. You don't need to now come and post and say, you don't tell me what to do. So you just wake up, you buy your own car, and you don't even, communicate with the person. You've got your own properties silently. Just think about it this way. If you are in a marriage and you're the lady and the husband is providing and wakes up buying things and you're not aware and doing things you're not aware, obviously you're going to be pissed off. It's going to hurt you so much. So if you are the lady that is also earning more now, just do the same that you would expect the man to do. That's what the Bible says, do unto others as you wish them to do unto you, because you want to do things that are good, that are godly, and that are going to protect the relationship. Mind you, money is very important because it covers a large chunk of things, especially in marriage. But there are things that money cannot buy: the love, the affection, the emotions, because there are people with money, but they're miserable. They are in depressions. They are actually lonely just because they can't treat people well. So if you're a lady and you're earning more than your partner, or you're earning more in a marriage, that's very good, but bring it to transparency, bring it, plan with your person as well. But I don't encourage men to then become lazy, and then like the woman is now earning and she's the one taking care of you. I think if you are a man, I also feel there mustn't be competition in the house, but there are times when there are exceptional women. For example, in the Bible, there were exceptional women like Deborah. Deborah was just exceptional. She was a prophetess. People were coming to her for questions, and she was addressing the nation because she was a judge that time. The same responsibility that Gideon had, the same, okay, not Gideon really, but okay, if you go into the Judges, you'll see that the book of Judges talks of judges, including Gideon, including Samson. These were people that were really not called kings, but they were judges that particular time. Deborah sat in that kind of a place, of a position that time. They were coming to her with questions, and at first she was addressing, in fact, her job was to address spiritual issues because she was a prophetess who was hearing from God. But it got to a time where she was needed to be present in war, and she also availed herself and came. So that's like exceptional. So there are women with exceptional abilities, and if they have exceptional abilities, you cannot shut them out, because they're going to be blessed by God in some ways. But you as a man, you don't need to be competing with that lady. You don't need to be competing with your person. You found love, you found a common ground. That's cool, that's great. But you don't need to be competing with her, but you need to be also challenging yourself. You don't need to be lazy. You don't need to sit down because the lady is bringing money to the table. And then now you sit down. I expect you to be pushing harder, man. I expect you to be pushing harder. If you're a man and you're hearing me now, whether on YouTube or TikTok, you have to push yourself harder, man. You have to push yourself harder if a lady is anymore. Not to the extent of doing illegal stuff. If you see that you've stretched yourself to the maximum, then it's fine. But if you still, there's still room to do more and to do better, please just try. Just try. It's very, very important that you do well. Okay? It's very, very important. Okay. So there's nothing wrong for a woman to earn more. So if you're a lady and you're listening to me right now, I want you to go and study the book of Proverbs, chapter number 31. Proverbs chapter 31. Proverbs chapter 31 is an amazing chapter that describes the best woman that can ever be there in this world. Proverbs 31 woman is an amazing woman. She's full of character. She's hardworking. She provides. She supports. She's got a good attitude. She has respect. She honors her husband. The Proverbs 31 woman. So if you're a lady and you have not read Proverbs 31 and you want to get married now, you're not serious. Or if you're a woman and you have been married and you have not read Proverbs 31, you're not serious. Go revise yourself. Come on, go revise yourself. Read Proverbs 31. You need to read that chapter. That's a chapter for women, for you to understand. Men go to Proverbs 31 to check the quality. Then women go to Proverbs 31 to be the quality. So you have to read Proverbs 31. It's very, very important for you to do that. And if you read Proverbs 31, it's going to help you a lot. You're going to be a better version of yourself. And also remember, in relationships, it's more than about money and worth. I think also when you're respecting a person, it's not about money. It has to be about attitude, whereby you just respect the person because they deserve to be respected and because you have built something together, which is the relationship that you have. So a woman can earn more, and even if a woman can earn more, but that doesn't bring down the responsibilities we have in marriage. Let's go to question number 3 out of 5. Let's go to question number 3 out of 5. Why do so many marriages fail even when couples start deeply in love? Oh my God, this one is deep. Some marriages do fail when couples start in love. Couples start in love, couples start well, but then marriages fail later. That's really bad, because in most cases people get married because they were in love. I think in 99% of the cases, people get married because they were in love, but then they begin to the love begins to fall out. Let me address it this way. According to the Bible, love never fails. Love never fails. If you study 1 Corinthians 13, especially verse 8, love never fails. Love continues to be there. Because remember, before we talk about intimacy, there's also the agape love as a Christian, whereby you just have to love a person because they're human beings. And then you extend that love further from agape to intimacy, because the person is now your partner. But then let's go to the practical side of things. According to this chapter, 1 Corinthians 13, you need also to read it if you're expecting to get married or if you are married. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 talks about the characteristics of love. For example, love is kind. So you need to be kind to your person. Love is patient. You need to be patient with each other. Life is also forgiving. You need to be forgiving each other and so forth. So these are some of the characteristics that love has. So if you are going to embrace this chapter of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and you see the characteristics of love, love will not fail in marriage. So the question being, why do so many marriages fail there? Even if we have that. We go to another side that is also real, because there are sometimes issues that are also very, very important to address when it comes to marriage. Before you get married, if you are not married right now, let me tell you, the foundation of your marriage matters a lot. The foundation of your marriage matters a lot. Now, the foundation has to do with a lot of things. I've written a book about this. I think I'll be publishing it very soon. A book that has to do with how you create a foundation for a marriage. You just save my number, or you just get in touch with me for you to be reserved for a copy. It addresses a lot of issues. For example, you have a foundation whereby you have to be knowing where you're going and how you're going there and with who you're going there. If you don't have a good foundation in marriage, the marriage is likely to crack. That's why you study the Bible and you go to Matthew chapter number 7, where the Bible begins to talk about the foundation, that if you lay your foundation on sand, wind is going to come and that foundation will not stand. But if you lay your foundation on a rock, a solid rock, which is Christ, that solid rock will make the house to stand. So a marriage can only stand if your foundation is right. And if it is on Christ, it will have characteristics of Christ, which is Christ is love, Christ is truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Remember John 14:6. So Christ is truth. So there are people who have built marriages on lies. I'm telling you, that will not help you anyway. If you are not yet married, never build a marriage on lies, because you build a marriage on lies when those lies are going to come, even if the person is forgiving and is also trying to exercise love, but the trust will be broken. And that trust is a real thing. That trust is a real thing. If you go back to the Bible, you have circumstances and examples of people that also sent away their wives. I think it is in the book of Chronicles, where a man sent 2 of his wives away because he discovered something. I think in the Bible, if you study on the laws of Moses, one of the laws was saying, if a woman is married and the day that she's married, a man brings back the wife and complains that this wife was not, in that sense, according to these laws, virgin, the woman was going to be tested and the parents were going to provide the proof of her being a virgin when she got married. And if they have the proof, then the man was going to pay a price to say, okay, you try to tarnish us. But if the woman was going to be proven that she was not, and then it means she came into the marriage and told the husband that I was a virgin, and then she was found that she's not a virgin, and there's no proof that she was a virgin. Of course, that's blood, maybe on a cloth or something. And then the Bible says it this way in both Leviticus and Deuteronomy. It says it this way, that then the husband can bring back the wife. And when the husband brings the wife, and if there is no proof provided, then the woman is going to be taken away. And according to the laws of Moses, it was very harsh, because the woman would receive punishment because of the thing that she would have done. So it was all about trying to give a good foundation on people, that you just have to be truthful. Who you are when you enter into marriage, it has to be truthful. It has to be on a solid ground. It has to be truthful. Sometimes even men, you lie. You lie about who you are. You lie about what you do, about the things that you're doing. And if those things are discovered in marriage, they're going to break the trust, because a person trusted you that you're going to take care of them, and then you're no longer able to. So I think trust is one of the key areas that can break a marriage. And some of these things also include faithfulness. In marriage, you just have to be faithful. You just have to be a good person. Be faithful. Be faithful, because if you're not faithful, love will also fall out, because a person no longer trusts you by you doing all these things that are crazy. So yeah, those are some of the practical things that you need to avoid if you don't want love to fail. Okay, let's go to that was question number 3. Let's go to question number 4 out of 5 for this today's session. How can you know someone truly loves you and not what you have? So this is a sense of you want to know and test someone if they truly love you, not just love what you have, but truly love you. Okay, let me address it this way. According to what I've discovered, is a person, when they love you, of course, they're going to love you with also what you have. That's real. That's real. But you just want true love, whereby even if what you have is not there, the person should continue to love you. How are you going to know that? Number one of the key areas that you need to look at is to observe consistency in a person in all situations. So let's say let's say money as an example, that you have money and then you feel like the person that came to you because of money. You observe consistency, that when things are hard, are they going to be consistent? And I believe it's also good sometimes to test yourselves, to test each other before you get married. Test each other out and see if the person is going to be consistent, even if things are going to be hard. I was listening to one podcast, and it was giving an example of a test that you can give to your couple. If you want to be sure that you know your person before you get married, and then they love you for you, sometimes if you are driving and if you have a car, you go on a long trip driving. For example, you can commit the whole day to start a trip even at 5 a.m. and end it at 8 p.m. Go somewhere and come back. Along the way, you're going to get bored. And when you get bored, there's going to be a time when a person is going to explode and express themselves. It helps you to understand and to know the person. Not only a trip, but sometimes it can be situations that you can observe during the courtship, whereby when you're exposed to certain things. For example, if one person is in business in a relationship, be it the lady or the man, and sometimes when things go down, you can see how the person reacts. Some people, they distance themselves when things are not okay. I remember I had a case study where a guy saw that the lady was misbehaving because the guy was jobless that particular time. When he was earning, he was a manager and he was doing very well. But when he started not to earn, even if the lady had a job, instead of helping the men and coming to help the men, he was just misbehaving. I think that's one of the red flags that shows you a person is here for what you have, not you. Because you don't want a situation that when one day your marriage is being tested, maybe 10 years down the line, your marriage is being tested and then your finances are not strong and then somebody just leaves you, because that would be terrible. I'm telling you, because when things are hard, that's when you need your person the most. You need them to come and comfort you, because sometimes money cannot be sensed if it is not there by emotional support and emotional help. So consistency is one of the things that will help you to check if someone really loves you. So this can be the signs also of lack of money or lack of resources. Then it can also be in the seasons of lack of proper abilities. For example, when you're sick, you can also check the person if they're consistent when you're sick. Okay, when a person backslits or misbehaves during the time that you are facing some challenges, like for example, you're sick, you have to doubt that, because in marriage, when you're going to be sick, who's going to be taking care of you? So you want to be careful about that. You want to be careful about that. Please make sure to subscribe or to follow if you are just joining. Another area also that you need to check consistency of the person is the area of pressure. You know, sometimes when there is pressure, people show their true selves. When there is pressure, a lot of pressure exposes a person. I'm telling you, during seasons of pressure, you can check the person's consistency and see if the person is consistent during pressure. Because under pressure, I'm telling you, people explode. You know, this one is for people who are in courtship or people who are dating. When a person is angry and there is pressure and the person explodes, don't take for granted what they just said. Don't take for granted. I know they'll come and tell you that I was just angry, but I'm telling you, sometimes in anger, people explode the truth. Because the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So sometimes they just didn't have the opportunity to say what they wanted to say, but they just said it anyway. Because now they're angry, they had the opportunity. Have you ever seen people who are drunkards? They tend to say, I was drunk, so this is what I said this because I was drunk. Most of these people are just lying. They just wanted to see it. They just created an environment to make it to make it easy for them to say what they wanted to say. So consistency proves love, and that a person is come for love, not for the things. And also, you can also check other preferences of the person. You know, there are people who are too demanding based on things that they are seeing. Sometimes they're too demanding. And the character of a person, you can also check it on fire and test it. For example, you're famous and somebody just loves you for being famous. You can check by the character that they pose. What are their preferences? What do they like? How are they behaving around you? What are the things that they look like to want to be benefiting from you? And there's a secret that I want to tell you. If you are going to be dating and if you're going to be in courtship, you have a list of questions and you have a list of things that you need to check for your person before you get married. I'm telling you, before you get married, you have the opportunity to put your person on fire, and many make mistakes because they tend to ignore a lot of red flags. And they tend to ignore a lot of red flags before you get married. And that's where everything starts to go wrong. For example, you're not even yet married, but you already have a scar. You already have a scar on your face because you had a fight that led you to scars. You're still dating, you're not married. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you went and you can't go on to get married in that kind of position. And you're going to go now and report to the police later that my husband is beating me or that my wife cooked me with hot with hot oil. Signs were there when you had a misunderstanding when you were dating and somebody, and one of you got a knife, one of you uh, damaged you, injured you. I'm not saying there are no arguments. I'm not saying there are no times when you can, be a little violent, but there's a violence that you can see that, oh my God, this is not healthy. You cannot carry this to marriage. So if you're still dating, you need to know that, okay, if you're already married, I mean, it's done. You just need to work on the differences and to seek help and to seek counseling. Again, in the book that I just wrote, but I'm just yet to publish it, you can get in touch, DM me to preserve a copy for yourself. There are things that I also address there whereby there are counselors that you need to see, whether you are married or you're not married. You have to know that there are counselors you need to see, counselors that you need to see. You need to see. At least a person should have 3 counselors for marriage, before marriage. Or if you got married and you never had those counselors, have them right now. Have them right now. 3 counselors. Number 1 counselor is a pastor. A pastor is a counselor who's going to show you biblical ways of dealing with the relationship and the marriage. Number 2 counselor that you need is a professional marriage counselor. Because no matter how much we can be, I'm a pastor. Come on, sometimes when you're talking to people that you're pastoring, sometimes I've discovered that there is a limit that as a pastor sometimes you can do, but sometimes you need a professional marriage counselor that you can go to and sit with them. They are going to give you reality of things. They will address sexual issues, they'll address financial issues, they'll address the past. Because sometimes the pastor will just come and preach to you that the past is blah blah, but the professional counselor will dig deep into it, lay it bare, and then address it, and then heal you, and then protect you, and then mold you to the extent that that will not be an issue in the future. You understand? And then number 3, you need to identify an old couple. You need to identify an old couple. An old couple is a couple of people that have been married for at least 40 years. Yeah, people are there who have been married for at least 40 years. Why am I saying so? Why am I saying so? Let me give you an example. A small example. Okay, because this is an international platform, let me give you an example that is so common. Let's say if a person like Bill Gates or Elon Musk, or that these people are rich, or Aliko Dangote, if they come to you and tell you to sell bananas, you're not going to debate. You run to sell bananas. Why? They have a proven record of making money. So if they tell you to sell bananas, if they tell you to sell sand, you say, it's Bill Gates who told me this advice. It will work. Why? Because you're checking their record and it's proven. So if you are going to need a lasting relationship or marriage, if you look at a couple that have spent at least 40 years together, I don't mean to say a person who is 70 years old, or a person who has been married and maybe 2 times or 3 times and then they got into this. I'm not talking about that person. With all due respect to those people, I'm talking about a couple that got married in their youth and then are still together, and they have been together for at least 40 years. Those people are there. They are probably in their 60s or in their 70s right now. Those people are there. Go to them. You have time to sit with them. Ask them secrets of marriage. Oh my God, they will help you. They will help you. There will be a time when the lady will sit with the lady and the men will sit with the men. They'll give you secrets. There will be a time when they'll sit you together. They'll give you. Why? Because in 40 years, they've been consistent with ups and downs, with challenges of life. They know the good times. They know the bad times. So if you go to them and if you ask them questions, they will help you. They will tell you as a man how you need to behave to a woman, how a woman needs to be treated, what makes a woman happy. You don't know anything if you're just getting married. I'm telling you. Or if you're not yet married, you know nothing. You know nothing. Go to these people. They will help you. So number 1, a pastor who will counsel you. Number 2, you need a professional marriage counselor. And number 3, you need an old couple that will become your mentors. And if you are with a person and if they're not okay with getting counselors and mentors for the marriage, that's another red flag. Why don't you want help? No, everybody wants help. Jesus needed John the Baptist. Come on, Elisha needed Elijah. You always need a person who guides you in these things. Go to those people, those 3 people, identify them, those 3 people, and they will help you, whether you're married or whether you're not yet married. Identify those 3 people. Your marriage will last long. I'm telling you, your marriage will last long. And I think question number 5, which is 5 out of 5 question, our last question for today's episode. How can couples keep passion and respect alive after years? together. I think it goes back to what I've just said, that if you look for these counselors, they're going to help you address these issues. But some of these things, they continue in these areas, whereby if you want to maintain love, and if you want to maintain respect with each other, you go into the biblical principles and you look at the biblical principles. Some of the chapters that I'll refer you to is Ephesians chapter 5, 1 Corinthians chapter number 7, 1 Peter chapter 3, Matthew chapter number 19. These are some of the chapters. Is it Micah or Malachi? Let me just confirm that one. It should be Malachi or Micah chapter number 2. Okay, let me just confirm. Is it Micah or Malachi chapter number 2? These are all books that addresses marriages a lot. Books that addresses marriages a lot. Book that addresses marriages a lot. I'm just talking about marriage being marriage in general. And also, you can also go to First Timothy chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. It can also help you, because Timothy was talking to people who are also, Paul was writing to Timothy, talking to people who are also leaders, but he was addressing marriage in pieces in the book of Timothy. So if you also read the book of Timothy, it is also a book that is filled with knowledge about marriage. So I've told you about Matthew chapter 19, Matthew chapter 7, 1 Corinthians chapter number 7, 1 Peter chapter number 3, what else? Ephesians chapter number 5. These are some of the books that you need to also look at, okay? And then it's between Malachi and Micah chapter number 2. Also do your own research. I'm just checking it right now. But it's also one of the chapters that also talks about. So it's Malachi chapter 2, yes. It's Malachi chapter 2. It's Malachi chapter 2. Yeah, it's Malachi chapter 2. I think that's where it also talks about God saying, I hate divorce. Malachi 2, verse number 16, for the Lord God of Israel says that he hates divorce, for it covers one is coming with violence, says the Lord of hosts. Therefore, take heed to your spirit and do not deal treacherously. But then, like, there are many issues that go beyond that leads sometimes to people separating. But let me not address that. The question was saying, how can you keep the passion together? Get to know these chapters, and these chapters are going to help you to address all these areas. Also, other issues, also other areas that you need to check. Also, you have to keep dating each other. If you're in marriage, keep dating each other. Keep bringing some flowers. Keep the love burning. Okay. If you're a lady, keep bathing well. Keep dressing well. If you're a man, keep also being lovely and being gentle. Also, keep the communication on fire. Keep the communication on fire, and also keep gratitude. Keep gratitude. Always be appreciating each other, and also keep supporting each other despite the downs and turns. We're together in each way, but whether things are good or bad, but we expect them to be good in most times by faith. Also pray together. When you pray together, especially holding hands, you chase away some demons out of your house, and it brings unity to you. These are some of the things, some practical things that you can also use to maintain. I believe you have been helped today. If you do have questions, my numbers are there. Hello to everyone that said hi. My numbers are there on the description. You can come through to it and you can ask me questions personally. I can help you, counsel you. And also, please do subscribe, please do share, and please do follow. I'll see you again tomorrow. So every day, 1 p.m. South African time, CAT, Central African time, I'll always be broadcasting and addressing some general life questions, and I'll be live on this platform. So please do come and enjoy and be blessed and be helped. Okay, so I'll see you again tomorrow, same time.